What historical event can accurately be referred to as a brew moment?
That pirate who had a bounty on him, so he put a bounty on the guy who put it on him, making it a real know-you moment.
Assassination attempt on Andrew Jackson, where assassin tried to shoot Jackson from close quarters, but the powder didn't light, so he grabbed a second gun, and it didn't fire, so Jackson took his cane and started beating the man. The term "getting the ball rolling" came from William Henry Harrison's campaign, after which, he won, mainly because he was the only candidate who didn't say anything about slavery, and he gave the longest inaugural speech in US history without a coat. In D.C. in the rain, ended up catching some disease and died like a month into his term, leaving John Tyler as president, who did practically nothing to reduce tensions between the North and South. 3. Sumner Brooks Affair.
When the art teacher declined Hitler for the second time.
Pompeii. When Vesuvius became active, they had just fixed the earthquake damage on the buildings and were ready to get the plastering teams in. Worst day in the building industry ever.
When 100 Russian soldiers who barely survived poison gas attack and were close to dying anyway, charged against 7,000 German soldiers in World War I. The Russians were so abnormal mutilated by the gas that the Germans thought they were attacked by zombies. Spoiler alert, the Russians won.
The War of the Bucket. There was a long-standing tension between rival cities, and eventually some thought it would be brilliant to steal a single oak bucket from the center of the city. When the city threatened war unless the bucket was returned, they laughed it off. This caused a war where hundreds died. The victors still have the bucket on display in their city.
When Teddy Roosevelt was shot before he was supposed to give a speech, the bullet was slowed down by the folded-up 50-page speech, so it did not kill him. The bullet was inside him and he was bleeding, but he still went on and have the speech, which was 84 minutes long. He started it off with "It takes more than that to kill a bull moose," and showed the crowd the speech with the hole in it. That's a pretty bruh moment and humiliating to your would-be assassin.
What happened in Tiananmen Square? Chinese government? Nothing, bruh.
Thomas Fitzpatrick, drunkenly stealing a plane on a bet. The bubonic plague was a magnitude 10 bruh moment.
The German-Soviet non-aggression pact being broken.
That one time that one army split up to flank the enemy army and ended up attacking itself.
The Great Depression.
Napoleon I coming back to conquer Europe after he already got defeated. Then he immediately got defeated again.
When Khosrau I of the Sassanid Empire literally built an exact, better version of Antioch just to show off to the Byzantines.
President Garfield's death. He was shot in an assassination attempt. The bullet didn't hit anything important and he would have lived if not for the infection he got from all the dirty fingers trying to dig the bullet out. I guess soap didn't exist back then.
The attempted Bay of Pigs invasion, when the U.S. air support was an hour late because they forgot time zones were a thing, and without them, the rebels got battered by Cuban government forces.
When What's-His-Face returned to Roanoke and found absolutely nothing but a word carved into a tree.
300 Australians trapped in a coastal African city held off thousands of Italians for months during World War II.
The rest of the world. Okay Hitler, we see you've been remilitarizing Germany and taking back confiscated parts of Germany you lost in the Treaty of Versailles. We will look past this as long as you promise not to invade Poland. Hitler, KK also Hitler, invades Poland, rest of the world. Bruh.
I saw this story on Reddit and can't find it on Google. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, that would be awesome if you have names/links. Anyways, there was a kingdom who recently got a new king who was about 17 years old, still a teenager. There was another empire they were fighting on another side of this massive rock. There were two ways to get around the rock. Through, there was a ravine, but you would get easily ambushed and slaughtered, or around the rock. The king's military advisor advised him to go around the rock because the enemy surely would be ready with arrows to ambush their army. The naive king ignored him and decided to go through the ravine. It turns out that the enemy thought that the king would go around the rock, so they also went that way too, and they both completely missed each other. Edit: I am pretty sure that it was Thutmose III who was an Egyptian pharaoh in the Battle of Megiddo. The Odds One Out also explains it in his YOLO swag video. Also changed tactical advisor to the proper word, which is military advisor, but I think most people want to know who did it and what battle it was in.
Brutus stabbing Caesar.
The sinking of the Titanic.
The destruction of Crimea by Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan forged a peace treaty with the Shah of Crimea. After the treaty was signed, the Khan sent a 500-man caravan to officially establish trade ties with the empire. However, the governor of the Crimean city of Otrar had the entire caravan arrested, claiming they were conspiring against the empire. The Khan then sent 3 ambassadors, 1 Muslim and 2 Mongols, to the Shah negotiate the release of the caravan. The Shah had the Mongol ambassadors shaved bald and the Muslim ambassador beheaded before sending them back to the Khan. This angered the Khan, who considered ambassadors to be sacred and inviolable. So he led the Mongols over the Tian Shan mountains, and in less than 2 years the entire Crimean civilization was completely wiped out. As each city in the empire was captured, the defenders were executed, women and children given to Mongol soldiers as slaves, artisans captured and sent back to Mongolia as servants, and the cities sacked. When the city where the Shah had been born surrendered, the Mongols broke the dams on the nearby rivers, causing a flood that literally wiped the city off the map. TL, Drive. Never break a peace treaty with Genghis Khan.
When 3 dudes claimed to be Pope and all got excommunicated.